Welcome back to the Barguments Sports Desk. We've got the finals coming up in Barguments. That's right, it's Tommy Smokes, a.k.a. Pete Davidson, going up against Kayce and the Sunshine Band Smith. This is going to be a hot one because we are talking what is the most iconic moment in NFL history. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for. We are in the finals of Barguments presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. This is the ultimate Bargument. I don't know if the tensions will ever be higher. I don't know if the stakes can be raised anymore. This is what it's all about at Buffalo Wild Wings. Two friends sitting down, getting into a Bargument.
You know we have a rivalry, right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'm going to be careful not mansplain anything
He said
during
it, not
this
me.
argument.
So
You said it, not me. But yes, he's known to every once in a while try to explain things to me in a manly tone.
Give me I don't think he does anything in manly tone.
Well, that's
but
true too. It's very
give me
fair
an
point.
example of something Tommy has mansplained to you in the past.
Would you like to talk about it, Tommy? Can we go?
You
I'm
want
actually not
him to
even-
mansplain what he mansplained
Well,
to
he
you?
actually mansplained. I'm
Yeah.
not a big fan of using the word mansplain.
Well, you used
but
it
then he used it.
pretty carelessly. You were just like, you mansplained that to me.
Are you mansplaining my mansplaining
Yes, I am.
mansplaining?
I don't know.
Listen, Kayce, let me
She
just
throws
share
out the word
something with you.
mansplaining. It's
When he's
frivolous.
mansplaining,
not
he's
true.
not actually mansplaining it. So
Yeah.
this is
I
me
know.
mansplaining.
You
I don't
wouldn't get
believe.
it.
I don't believe in mansplaining.
There's a big human
I don't
centipede
believe-
of mansplaining right
I
now.
don't believe that is disgusting.
So we're going to get to the Bargument. The Bargument in the final round is the most iconic moment in football history. Tommy, you are the lower seed. You are the higher seed, Kayce. So why don't you go first?
You want me to go first? Okay. So I know that this is a big thing for you, and it may not be the most iconic in an encyclopedia. However, it will live in infamy. Dez Bryant caught it. Hashtag Dez caught it against the Packers in the playoffs a few years ago, and I will say that every single time there's a catch or not a catch in the NFL, what do we talk about? Dez caught it. He's still tweeting about it. I'm still angry about it. It should have changed the rule. You're making an athletic move towards the goal line. It should have been a catch. That's the most iconic play in NFL history. Also, I'm a Cowboys fan because I grew up in Dallas, and that really hurt.
Interesting. Okay, so the most iconic moment in NFL history is something that
catching it.
broke your heart.
I mean, yeah, like you remember the heartbreak sometimes more than you remember the high moments.
Okay.
Plus, if you're still able to hashtag it and everybody looks at it and knows exactly what you're talking about, it's pretty iconic.
Tommy, you're
What? Kayce, what round of the playoffs
Tommy, your
was
rebuttal.
that?
It's the first round.
It was actually the second round.
Well,
I'm pretty
I mean,
sure.
Don't mansplain to her which
for
round
the Cowboys,
was.
it was the first game. They had a bye.
Well, but that's the second round of the playoffs.
Oh,
Not to
no,
mansplain.
No, she just.
That's true.
That's the divisional
they,
round.
they had a bye, and then they lost that game. I mean, if Tony Romo's their quarterback. They have one playoff win ever. So
The most iconic play in NFL history happened in a round in which you can't remember. Kayce, the biggest stage
I did remember.
is the Super Bowl. The most historic team maybe in sports history, definitely NFL history, the 18-0 New England Patriots in 2007. Tom Brady, 50 touchdowns, rolling through the league. The Giants are huge underdog. Eli Manning, Peyton Manning's special little brother. Oh, he'll never win the big one. He's not really Peyton's brother, is he? Call back to the first episode of Arguments against Kate. That was good by me.
That was
Eli
actually
Manning,
not the first episode.
My first episode.
Well,
Yeah, that was that.
Well,
I mean-
interesting. So you just did exactly what she did with
I mean, it
Cowboys
was
and
your
playoffs.
first episode.
Yeah,
it was the
that's
Cowboys'
tough.
first game.
Interesting.
The first.
That's a
That
tough
was the
look for
first
you,
round,
Tommy.
though. Eli Manning
It wasn't the
rolls
first
out of
episode.
the pocket.
It was the first game for the Cowboys.
He
too.
escapes a sack. He's down
You know what you're doing?
14-10.
You're mamsplaining. That's what you're doing. Okay.
He's down
yeah, go ahead.
14-10.
I've never heard that.
He avoids the sack. People forget about the way he avoids that sack. His jersey's getting tugged on. He rolls out of the pocket. He throws it up. David Tyree goes up on his helmet. Rodney Harrison trying to wrestle it away. David Tyree comes down with it. It is the most iconic catch in NFL history. You're arguing for an incomplete pass.
It was
I'm
incomplete.
arguing for the most iconic catch in NFL history. You hear helmet catch, you know exactly what is talked about. Every single Super Bowl, you look for a moment. Will there be a special catch? Will there be a special moment as great as that David Tyree helmet catch? No, there never will be, because it is the most iconic moment in NFL history.
Very good pick.
Interesting.
There's not a hashtag about it though.
That's another good point.
You live on
not
social
a-
media?
I mean, everybody
Open up your
does.
eyes
It's
once in a while.
2018.
Smell the fresh air,
Okay.
Kayce.
Is that your rebuttal? Just pointing out that there's not a hashtag?
No, I mean, it's a great pick. I mean, obviously, I
Right.
wasn't going to be cliche, though, because I bet if you polled everybody in this Buffalo Wild Wings right now, they would probably take that pick. I was trying to think outside the box, and it is more social media, as Jeff said in the earlier round, memeable.
Okay,
Just caught it.
but that's a good point on your part. Is that like that's a basic pitch answer that he
Yes.
just gave right here. If you ask 90
Well,
people,
It's
they'd
I mean,
probably
it's
say that.
not
That means
incorrect,
it's
but
correct.
it is basic.
It's a little bit basic. Okay, so yeah, I'll tell you what. These are two great barguers. There's a reason that you guys have made it to the finals, and that's that you're so great at this. and you're mansplaining and mansplaining all over the place. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull the overtime lever. All right, we are going into overtime in Barguments. Speed round. What is the worst play in NFL history? Tommy, you go first.
The worst play in NFL history is the Dez caught it play. It is a black eye on the National Football League. It was so clearly caught, and to call that an incomplete pass just highlights the problems with the NFL. The fact it's the NFL, we don't even know what a catch is. We don't know what a catch is every single week. We go back to that play. Did Dez catch it? Did Dez not catch it? It is a black eye on an otherwise stainless, a clean league with no problems except not knowing what a catch is. That play is the single biggest black mark on NFL history because it represents one of the biggest problems with the NFL. We don't know what a catch is.
Okay, good point.
My rebuttal is that that's not the worst play in history. That's the worst thing that a ref has done in history because Dez Bryant made a very good play.
It's a moment.
And he did
We're
catch
arguing
it.
moment.
He said play, though.
I did say play.
Well, I'm standing with it because the play was so large that it's actually a moment.
I mean, no.
Okay, it's a good point.
It's a good play.
And I think you make a very good rebuttal to him, but what is your choice?
My choice is that Tony Romo decided he would rather play with Jessica Simpson before the divisional round of the playoffs. He went to Cabo during a bye and then ended up losing to the New York Giants because he decided he'd rather have sex than watch game tape. Bad play.
If you're saying mine is
Very
not a
bad.
play,
That's a play.
Not a play.
He decided to play with Jessica Simpson instead of
So we're
look at
doing
game
a
tape.
pun there? Okay.
No, that's why I
Just
never
saying.
have sex, is because you never know. I might have to play in a playoff game the next weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta have all my
he-
swimmers intact.
I'm just saying, and they ended up losing that game. He will never live that down. You know, Jessica tried to come out and be like, no, everything's fine. But you choose sex over football, bad things happen sometimes.
That's a very good point.
Look, I don't sex shame here. I think that
I'm not trying
bodies
to
are
sex
beautiful.
shame.
So if Tony Romo wanted to have some sexual intercourse with Jessica Simpson, his beautiful girlfriend, who am I to get in the middle
I
of
mean,
that?
and yes,
Wow.
she's a smoke show.
Yeah.
However, at the time, it was probably not the best idea to go play with your hot girlfriend and not play
Jason
football.
Witten doesn't get enough. He doesn't get enough crap for allowing Tony Romo to do that during that week.
Yeah, that's true.
I
That's a
feel
good
like
point.
Jason should have stepped in if he was
He's
real
this
leader.
actually should be the scapegoat for
He
this.
should. I blame Jason Witten for everything that's wrong in my life right now. Okay, it's
Yikes.
time to make a decision. Ultimately, I think I got to go with Tommy. I think that Tommy really twisting it around on her with the Dez Bryant
It's
as the
genius.
worst. That was a pivotal moment. That for me,
You can't let
was
him call himself a genius in this. Like that
that
just
for me
negates it.
was the best moment in Barguments history, and that's one that people will be tweeting about and hashtagging and memeing.
Hashtag
Tommy twisted it.
won it.
Tommy twisted
Hashtag,
it.
yeah.
Twisted it.
Tommy
That
won
could
it.
look really bad if you're tweeting that at me.
Tommy-
There's a lot of bad stuff of me on the internet.
Tommy twisted it, guys. And I'm riding Tommy like a horse out of this episode of Barguments, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. Enjoy
spank him?
yourselves. Be safe. Be safe out there if you're going to go out to Buffalo Wild Wings. Don't try to eat too spicy of wings. They'll tear you up on the inside. Tommy had a medium,
Yeah, medium is a
And-
little bit above
and-
my pay grade.
and he's dying right now. So, cheers. Love you guys. Well, that concludes Barguments Season 2, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. I know I had fun moderating. I hope you guys had fun watching it. And
I had
Tommy,
fun winning.
he defeated Kayce, he defeated Liz, he defeated Kate. The question many people are asking, do you hate women?
No, I treat women as equals, and I needed to debate them as equals, and that's how I handled it. It would have been sexist of me to do otherwise.
And then you had to face Dave in the semifinals, your idol, the person that you look up to the most in the world, and you had to basically dunk his head in the toilet and just treat him like a piece of garbage for 2 minutes.
I disagree.
So how have things soured? How has your relationship changed with
Things
Dave
have
after
not,
that?
they have not soured. He looked at me, he said, son, I'm proud of you. We shook hands. We were arguing for pro Team Portnoy members, so there is no trouble in paradise.
He calls you son. Fellas, you gonna
Well-
let another man call you son?
Yeah, I mean,
Couldn't be me.
I don't.
Fellas. Yeah, hopefully one day you'll be back in your boss's good graces.
Well,
Until then, I'm PFT commentator. And this is Dave Portnoy's former favorite friend, Tommy Smokes.
Wrong.